Okay, here with the Motorola Xoom, and I wanted to do a quick walkthrough of some of the features of the device. You guys have probably seen some demos of this, so it might not be very new, but give you a quick run through of how the thing works. Basically, this is your home screen. You've got a bunch of different panels here. I believe it's 5 in total, and you scroll through them like this. As you can see, it's scrolling super smooth. The animation is really, really fast, extremely smooth, and looks generally very good. It's got a very Tron-ish motif here, and you can actually see, if you look at some of the wallpapers they offer, they almost look like they're taken right from Tron, which is kind of a cool thing. It's like I say in the review that it's almost a combination of. It's got some of the dimensionality of the photorealism of something like WebOS or iOS, but it has a lot of the chromeless behavior the chromeless look of something like Windows Phone 7. So it kind of works. Here you can see some of the widgets. Everything has this dimensionality to it. You see this is a market widget, which has this sort of 3D flipping action. You get the same thing with the Books app, which is pretty nice. And when you move around widgets, it gives you this, you might not be able to see it here, but it gives you this grid pattern and sort of a ghost image of where your widget will show up or where your icon will show up, which is kind of cool. It also does the same sort of ghosting on the icons here. You can see along the side. It gives you a ghost impression of it before you actually see it. So general navigation works like this. There's 3 buttons down here: back, home, and multitasking, which does that. That's what your multitasker looks like. Not scrollable, so it just shows you 5 apps at a time. And up here you've got an apps button, which takes you to your main page of applications. You can add widgets, shortcuts, wallpapers, and more. This is, I guess, some non-widget, non-app shortcut, non-wallpaper stuff. But basically, so you get here through that plus button up top. The apps button is only present on the home screen, so if you're in Market, and let's just quickly jump into Market here. Oh, my client is out of date. That's interesting. Let's see if it does that. Application is not installed. Well, that's upsetting. Wait, here we go. Oh, it's been updated. Great. That's exciting. Looks like it might not be loading right up, but it's going to show some of the navigation and application. Let's go to music. That's a good one. So music is completely redesigned. Looks about 1,000,000 times better. Functions pretty well, but as you can see here, there's a lot of missing album art, and I definitely have album art for these guys, so I'm not sure where it went, but it looks pretty good. We did notice a little weirdness with, let's see if it's still here. No. Oh yeah, our podcast icon has somehow gotten pressed onto a Vampire Weekend record, which is very strange. But when you jump into an artist, an album or an artist, you see something a little bit more traditional. And this also has some contextual menus, as you can see here. But it's definitely, they're exposing a lot more of the navigational elements than they were in previous versions of Android. So that is the music player. YouTube has a similar, let's get YouTube up, has a similar kind of vibe to it, with this sort of 3D, it's a wall of TVs as I call it, but they're going for something very similar in all of the native apps, which is a dimensionality, kind of a layered feeling. The same thing is true in books. You've got this row of, oh, hang on, I'm actually in a book. Page turning animations, of course, but let me jump back to the main. You can see here, I don't have that many books, but if I had more books, they would be scrolling through here. So lots of really nice interface elements, but also some bugginess. And as we've seen, we mentioned in the review, this, for instance, Market has been crashing on us a ton, and apps that aren't made for this, which is, there really aren't that many apps at all made for this format, look really weird. To give you an example, we can show off. Let's try radio or RDO. I mean, this doesn't look that bad, but it also clearly isn't formatted for a tablet. It's just a stretched cell phone interface, basically. But there are some apps that are specific to the Xoom and to honeycomb like Google Body, which is really interesting. It is a 3D human body, and you can actually take it apart and look at different. I don't know. I suppose this would be good for doctors or curious humans, but it's clearly formatted for a tablet. It looks really beautiful. It shows what you can do with a tablet and what you can do with Honeycomb in the Android OS, but there aren't that many apps like this for the device right now, and there aren't really any in the market. So it's a little scary of a premise to buy this without anything waiting for you there. I think one other thing of note, let me show you the notifications. Notifications work like this, that you can see all of them, or you can pop them up individually by pressing on the individual icon here. What's weird about it is you can't jump from one to the other. You have to tap off of it and then tap on to the next one. So that can be a little bit annoying. You also get an option to change some settings in this little pop-up. It's a real desktop paradigm, feels very much like a Windows interface, but it works really well. Basically, the core of this OS is great. The getting around the OS is great, though sometimes a little bit confusing. The big problem here is that it feels a little unfinished. It's been somewhat buggy for us, and it doesn't really have any applications right now. So there's not a lot to play around with. It feels a little bit like a dead end at this point. So we're hoping that Google gets its tablet development really kick-started with this, and we start to see some interesting software. But that is a basic look at the Motorola Xoom.